Welcome to my views on news. Just now, a press conference in Nairobi came to a close with briefing by Olusegun Obasanjo, Uhuru Kenyatta, and a declaration was signed between Tadesse Werede, Tigray military commander, and Ethiopian National Defense Force Field Marshal Berhanu Jula. Question is, what is this declaration about? Will TPLF be disarmed? Will TPLF surrender its weapons? Will ENDF enter Mekelle? What is the content of this new declaration signed just a few minutes ago? I am recording this video after watching the complete presser. Now, firstly, the agreement signed today has not been made public so far. So, we have only one agreement till now, and that is what was signed more than 12 days ago in Pretoria, South Africa. In that agreement, it was written that Tigray, the TPLF and ENDF military commander and from Tigray military commanders, they'll establish a channel of communication within 24 hours after the signing of the agreement. That was established. Then that the two sides will hold a meeting in 5 days. It happened, and that the two sides, the military commanders, they'll elaborate, they'll consider modalities on disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration of TPLF combatants in society. So, Tadesse Werede, Berhanu Jula talked on phone immediately after the signing of the agreement on the 2nd November. Then their meeting started in Kenya, Nairobi, around 5 to 6 days ago. In this session of talks, they were supposed to agree on modalities of disarmament of TPLF combatants. Have they agreed on any modalities? Well, the agreement has not been made public so far, so it's difficult to say what they have agreed on. But African Union released a statement after the signing of declaration between Tadesse Werede and Berhanu Jula. And secondly, Ethiopian government released statements. What do Ethiopian government and African Union say about today's declaration? African Union in statement said that the two sides have agreed on immediate delivery, unfettered delivery of aid to Tigray, protection of civilians, protection of aid workers. And for disarmament of TPLF combatants, a joint committee has been formed. It means modalities, either modalities will be finalized by the joint committee or modalities about disarmament have been finalized. Joint committee will monitor the disarmament. It's not clear. African Union says that joint committee will elaborate upon modalities regarding disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration of TPLF combatants. So there is no clarity in the statement of African Union. It seems that so far the two sides are not making public what they have agreed. Ethiopian federal government's statement today, I would say it's not very encouraging. Ethiopian federal government today said that the parties must fulfill their obligations under the agreement signed in Pretoria, South Africa. Why? Why is Ethiopian government saying that? The parties must fulfill their obligations. It means some parties are not fulfilling their obligations. That is why Ethiopian federal government used this sentence in today's statement, issued after the signing of declaration in Kenya today. It further said that government was committed to unfettered delivery of aid to Tigray, and that aid was reaching areas under ENDF control. What about other areas which are not under ENDF control? The statement further claims that basic services are being restored in areas under ENDF control, and in other areas conducive environment is being created, and repairing of infrastructure is being done for restoration of basic services. Secondly, government says that military commanders, the two sides met in Nairobi, Kenya, and they agreed on what was mentioned in Pretoria, South Africa. Disarmament, demobilization, reintegration of TPLF combatants, and ENDF's entry in Mekelle, Tigray's capital. So this is mentioned in Ethiopian government statement. It means that Ethiopian National Defense Force might enter Mekelle in coming days. But last sentence of government's statement is about need for respecting the agreement. It urges the parties to fulfill their obligations under the peace agreement signed in Pretoria. So overall, I hope I am wrong. I think the talks in Nairobi, Kenya could not achieve fully what was being expected. Though a lot remains to be seen because agreement has not been made public so far. Tadesse Werede in his speech before signing the agreement said that his people were suffering for the last 2 years. He said people of Tigray are still suffering. And what we are signing, what we're doing is for the sake of the people of Tigray. And we hope that unhindered aid delivery to Tigray will be ensured. I think Tigray's stress in Nairobi talks was on resumption of unfettered delivery of aid to Tigray, because for the last 10 days no considerable improvement has been seen in delivery of aid to Tigray. So Tigray's main point was that TPLF, their main point was that first of all, unfettered, speedy delivery of aid to Tigray must be ensured. Then gradually disarmament can start. Though it's my understanding, I have not received any official word from any side, but I think Tigray was mainly emphasizing the speedy delivery of aid to Tigray region. TPLF negotiators were pressing the government, federal government. The federal government should deliver aid to Tigray first, and then gradually other points will also be implemented. That is why first point mentioned in African Union statement is about delivery of aid to Tigray. A lot remains to be seen. Maybe in coming hours, the agreement signed today will be made public. We'll have to wait a little to see what is written in this new declaration. But African Union's statement, Ethiopian federal government statement indicate that all did not go well in Nairobi talks. There were several obstacles, some have been crossed and some are still to be crossed. Broader principles have been agreed, like they were agreed in Pretoria, but no timeline is mentioned in African Union statement, in Ethiopian federal government statement. Maybe in the declaration signed, there could be timeline about disarmament, about delivery of aid to Tigray, about establishing of interim setup in Tigray, about holding of elections. So we'll have to wait a little. So far, honestly, I am not very optimistic after watching today's press briefing held in Nairobi, and after reading the statements of African Union and Ethiopian federal government. It does not mean that peace process has collapsed. No, ceasefire is holding. The two sides want to silence the guns, but several obstacles and challenges remain, it seems.